we have Arunima from BSCIT first year. Big round of applause, everyone.
A very delightful good afternoon and a very happy Gandhi Jayanti to one and all present here. Respected Director Sir, our faculty members and my dear friends. Today, I, Kumari Arunima, a student of BSCIT first year, stand in front of you to discuss a question that has sparked an intense debate and curiosity in my mind. Can India become world's next superpower? Well, as I stand at the threshold of this inquiry, let's delve into the complexities and potential that defines our nation. India, a home to 1.4 billion people, whose world's largest democracy, a thriving economy, and an ancient civilization that has contributed significantly to human knowledge. Our growth story has been remarkable, with GDP expansion expected to surpass $5 trillion by the end of 2027. India's youthful population promises a productive workforce. Our IT sectors and startups drive global digital transformation. India's cultural richness fosters creativity and resilience. Connecting the East and the West, we bridge trade routes. Now, all these things that I just mentioned were not only to tell you how great of a country India is. We already know that. What I want you to know is that the rise of India will not just be a replication of an existing superpower, but a unique blend of cultural, economic, and democratic vitality. In conclusion, the potential of India becoming world's next superpower is undeniable. India is a land where rivers are worshipped, women are worshipped, and even children are worshipped. But India is also a land where rivers are prone to dirt. Our women are prone to horrors like Arjikar, and our children, our youthful creative minds, are committing suicides at such an alarming rate. Do we want our nation, or rather an evolving super nation, to be associated with such attributes? If not, then let's unite to forge for a brighter future, to solidify India's position as not only an inspiration model of growing economy and infrastructure, but also as a beacon of hope, prosperity, and peace. Now, as I end my speech, I would like to thank you all for listening to me with such a patient mind. Thank you.
Wonderful, Arunima.
Yes, sir.
So, you got a very simple topic. I am taking the cue from your speech only. Your topic is crime and discrimination against women. 30 seconds you can take.
Crime. It's not something that we have not witnessed till now, or any one of you have not witnessed. But when a crime happens against a man, it's a common problem. When a crime is happening against a woman, it's a niche specific problem. In our country, women has contributed in every aspect. When we were rooting for our country to be independent, women stood with men and fought for our independence. But when it came to get the benefits, we were discriminated. We didn't get the chance to stand next to you and show our talent. Even today, women who have achieved extraordinary abilities and positions are subject to this. We get discriminated in workplace, at our homes, and in general. Now today, we as youth have the power to change it. Don't you want to be a start to a new beginning? I want to be, and I want you all to be. Now as I end this, I hope that you all learn something from this. That we want equality, not in terms of strength or physical strength, but cerebral equality. Thank you.